Hello, folks, and how's everybody today? I gotta tell you some funny things. Last night, I really had a good time last night, and I'll tell you what's going on. Have you ever heard the four musical notes? D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D. Have you heard those? Yeah, from the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone, you've heard me? Yeah. when was when was the last time you thought you were in the Twilight Zone? I mean, go back in your memories. Think about this. Think about what I'm telling you. When was the last time? And honestly, you know something? I'm always talking, and you guys are always listening. I would love it if you would answer this. Okay? When was the last time you thought you were in the Twilight Zone? Case in point, okay? I'm going to tell you my situation last night, and this is kind of funny. I was invited to two different parties yesterday. Two birthday parties, actually. One in Miami and one in Hollywood, the Hard Rock. And the Hard Rock, I've never been to the Hard Rock upstairs on the top floor or whatever floor it is. I don't even know what floor it is, but we were at an exclusive birthday party last night, and it was fun. I mean, it was fun. But I've got to tell you, you know, I've lived in Miami now for, I'd say, 9 years. And yeah, I know most of the people here, and I'm always having fun here, which everybody knows. So I go to this party last night, and I'll tell you something. The Hard Rock was packed. I mean, when I tell you packed, packed. And I got there early. The party started at 8. I got there at 8:30 or something like that. And just because I had no idea what to expect, because I've never been up there before. I mean, I've been gambling, of course, at the Hard Rock, but never any parties. And I've been invited to a few. I've been invited to the pool parties. I haven't gone. I'm just not a pool party person because, you know, between you and me, I don't know what's in that pool when when they have these parties. And I mean, not to get off the subject, but I will for a second. Listen, you know something? When you go to these pool parties, I mean, like even the ones, especially the ones in Miami Beach, you couldn't give me $1,000,000 for me to sit 1 foot of mine into that pool. Because I know when I was a kid, you know, 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, you know what I used to do in that water at the pools? I used to piss in it. Okay? And now you got all these drunk people who are now 25, 35, 45, 55 years old, drinking, drugs, all whacked out of their minds. And what are they doing? Well, they're doing more than pissing in the pool. They're screwing in the pool. And you think I want to be around that stuff? You got to be out of your mind. But anyway, getting back to D, which is the Twilight Zone. So I'm invited to this great party. It was really nice. And I mean, I'm running into people that I haven't seen in a while because these are people up in Hollywood and Boca and that area. And you know, for the past 9 years, I've been in Miami. And yes, I go up to Boca to visit my cars. Well, actually in Delray. But, and I get invited to a lot of restaurant parties and stuff like that. I was just up there Friday night for a restaurant party, which was a great party. It's my buddy Frankie has his, as he says, or I'd say 21st birthday. Could have been his 80th for all I know. Who knows? But he looks pretty good for 80. But, yeah, you know, it's just fun. I have a good time everywhere I go, which everybody knows. And you know, I say hello to this one, I say hello to that one, and you know, I love getting the kisses and all this other stuff on the cheek. Kisses on the cheek. But last night I was running into people who, oh my God, I mean, these people look like they came from another planet. I mean, some guy had sparkly shoes on that looked like they came out of the Wizard of Oz, except they were silver, not red. Somebody else had this jacket on that had all these, I don't even know what they were on, fluorescent something or others on his jacket. And I mean, it was just, I mean, every time you turned around, something more unique than the other. Now, Miami, I gotta tell you, when I'm in Miami, the way I dress in Miami, I wear a white shirt or a floral shirt or something like that, some shorts and some flip-flops or, light loafers or something like that. And I'm fine. And the women I know usually are wearing, either shorts or bikinis or when they go out to dinner or whatever, they're wearing nice dresses. Nothing to the point where your eyes go, and that's what happened to me last night. My eyes were like, every time I turned around, somebody had something more unique than the other. And maybe that's what the party was about, is like, try to freak out Rick from Miami, because they did a good job of it. And I mean it. It's one of those, you had to be there to believe it. And I was waiting for Rod Serling from the Twilight Zone to come out and say, Rick, welcome to the Twilight Zone. And, I'll tell you, after that, what I was waiting for, after Rod Serling from the Twilight Zone, the next thing I was waiting for is Alfred Hitchcock. Now, if you guys know Alfred Hitchcock, I don't have to explain it, but for the people who don't know Alfred Hitchcock, he's the one who wrote, produced and directed The Birds and the one where the son kills the mother in the shower. I forgot the name of that one. But, I mean, this is what I was doing last night. And I was with a lot of friends of mine, so it was comfortable. But I'm telling you something, it was different. And it was fun. So again, I'm going to ask you, please, go back into your memory banks, if you guys still have one, or get the drugs out of your system and the alcohol out of your system, and and go back to your memory banks and just give me one of your craziest, what you think was a Twilight Zone show that you went through. Okay? Do it for me. And I'm sure you don't have to say your name, but I'm sure everybody would love to hear some of the unique things. So do that for me, would you please? And actually, do it for all our listeners. And I say our listeners because they are. We're getting like a kind of like a little cult here, don't you think? We've got a lot of followers and a lot of people are loving the stuff that we talk about. So help me, help them, and help you. Okay? Make sure of it. Okay, on that note, I'm going to go leave with have fun. Don't forget, ciao, babe.